Welcome back to the Forward Moves podcast, a place where we talk all things marketing and operations for fitness businesses. I'm your host, Ash.
And I'm your co-host, Keira.
And welcome back to season 2.
Welcome back,
We're
everybody.
back.
It's so exciting to be here. We're low-key nervous. It feels like we've never podcasted before in our lives.
What do we say? What do we do?
Yeah, we had to talk about it on the way here about our opener and everything. But if you are following along on the video side of things, you might have noticed already that we're in a completely new studio.
I know. It's a definite upgrade.
Bit of an upgrade. We had an upgrade all around. We told you upgrades were coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is part of it.
We have travelled to the Gold Coast, and you probably know this studio. I feel like a lot of people do know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at Pivotal Conversations, everyone. The studio. But we're definitely upgraded. We are really excited to be back. We have been working super hard on season 2 of this podcast, and we've got some big ones coming in.
Yeah.
But I'm just so excited to be back.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. We kind of don't know how to podcast anymore.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so where do we go from here?
Talks. So we thought we would kick the year off because we're launching this episode early Jan.
Yes, you will all be hearing this early Jan.
Yeah. So
and to put into perspective, we're filming this end of November.
Yes. So we thought we'd kick it off with a fun little episode of what are our fitness industry predictions.
Yeah.
For 2025.
Yes.
I've got to keep saying 2025.
That's wild. 2025. That doesn't seem like we should be in 2025.
I don't like 25. 24 is all right.
See, to me, 25 sounds like a nice whole number. Like, I know it's an odd number, but it's like a quarter.
It's red.
No.
It's red.
It is scary.
2025 is
Actually,
red.
it is red.
Yeah.
But
what's that called? That we always talk about this stuff. What's it called?
we should probably know it.
I
don't know the name of it.
It's
what it's called, where you associate things with things. Like
numbers with colours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday's red.
No, to me, Monday's red.
Monday's blue.
Definitely
we
not
should probably
blue.
have a full episode on that.
On how we see
Does anyone else do
colours.
this? But we'll kick straight into the predictions for 2025 because I am very excited for the year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very big year. We say that every year because every year just gets bigger and bigger. So let's start with the predictions.
Can we just talk about our cards?
Our cute little cards.
What a little glow
We
up
are
that we've
official here.
We are very official. We feel very fancy.
Well, last season we winged it. Honestly, sometimes we walked into the studio and we're just like, what are we going to record today?
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? We don't know.
We haven't really made notes. It'll be fine. But that's also just a reminder to everybody. Just get started.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just get started. It doesn't need to be perfect.
I listen back to some of our old apps and I'm like, oh,
Eep.
but hey, whatever. They're the most popular ones.
Yeah, usually. But okay.
All right, let's get in predictions. So basically these predictions are the trends that we've noticed as well as what we think is coming in the industry. So with perspective to this, we work behind the scenes with lots of coaches. So we work behind the scenes of businesses and we see the changes as they're coming. But definitely there are a couple of things that I can read that are coming to the industry. Well, I think. If these aren't right, don't.
Yeah, these are just our predictions. And it's pretty good timing because we're filming this at the end of the year and it'll come out in the new year. So it'll be really fun.
We're getting lots of questions already around what do you think is going to happen in 2025? What kind of offers should I launch? So we're going to go through them and you can,
We'll chat about them.
Yeah. So number one is there's going to be a huge shift to fortnightly check-ins in the lifestyle category. I have noticed this so much recently that weekly check-ins are becoming less and less in the lifestyle world.
100%. So whenever we have people come through the Business Moves program and everything like that, we definitely notice that something that the coaches complain about or just voice, not so much complain, is that they're struggling to get their clients to check in every single week, which isn't realistic for a lot of people if they're a lifestyle client because they don't necessarily need to check in every single week. So they just don't.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword because checking in weekly when you have a goal, like for example, if you're doing a photo shoot or you're just a really dedicated lifestyle client, weekly check-ins are great. But I find there is definitely more accountability with a fortnightly check-in because it's once a fortnight, and a lot of stuff sometimes, and a lot of comments made towards us is, I don't know why I'm checking in weekly, not much changes with my client.
Yeah.
So fortnightly would make sense, but it's also a double-edged sword in the fact that if they don't have that weekly accountability in the start of their journey, or if you're taking on fresher clients, or if they have a goal to go towards, then your retention might falter a little bit. So it's really business to business, but I'm seeing a huge shift from weekly to fortnightly because at the end of the day, if you do a fortnightly check-in, you still talk to your clients weekly.
Yeah, they're still going to message you. They're still going to send you questions, things like that. You just might notice that the communication amount in those first few weeks might be higher, and then they can put more detail in their fortnightly check-in. But you could just do like a little catch-up on that other week with them. Even though that like full check-in is fortnightly, you can still offer something around like on your off week. We just have a mini check-in or something like that, but your full check-in with full video response, everything like that would be on the fortnight. But,
I really like the idea of fortnightly check-in and then a monthly Zoom call. I think that's a really great balance because I feel I have them with my coach, and when I get on a call with her, I talk about 4 weeks of stuff anyways. So then I feel really good for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then when you're listening to a check-in, you can't really give feedback from it. So,
and when you've got a client on a call, they will bring up so many more things in just general conversation that they never would have written down in a check-in. They'll go, I did that last week and blah, 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 and I did this and I went there. Actually, that was hard. I struggled to make a decision there. And they're like, great, let's talk about that. How did you go? What did you choose? Blah, blah, blah.
It's also less work for the coach. And in a way, it can be a little bit more lucrative because you can still charge a good rate for fortnightly check-ins because you with your pricing strategy, you need to take your pricing away from the weekly check-in. It needs to be on your education, on the value of the coaching business. So if you have a really great customer journey, you have a lot of education, you've got a lot of things that they can self-coach themselves with, it's not going to matter if they do that fortnightly check-in.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's coming in the new year.
Definitely.
Number 2.
Independent gyms will expand a little bit more with a more niche ideal customer.
Yeah. This was my one.
Yeah, it was.
Because I work with a lot of gyms, and I'm noticing at the moment there is such a big shift between normal gyms, like
stock standard franchise gyms.
Yeah, franchise. Yeah, so there's like another name for them. I don't know. And there's a huge shift of people going to independents. So many people that I know, including yourself, have gone to independent gyms this year, and independent gyms, I feel they have a name for functional fitness, but I feel like there's going to be gyms that come out that are strength-based independent gyms. A really good one is the PT Centre in Newcastle, or Club 94 now in Newcastle, and Sequoia runs that, and it's a strength-based independent gym, and it is so popular, so incredibly popular because it's females only. I feel that there's going to be more of them branches coming out because people are really enjoying personalization when it comes to their training. So this is going to be a topic that we touch on, but normal gyms, you go in, you by yourself, you do the workout, you leave. Independent gyms, you go in, you talk to the coach, you talk to everyone around you. It's more of a community. Yeah. You get more access, and people love paying high ticket for that stuff. Yeah. I'm noticing a huge shift in it.
Definitely what I experienced after just going to the gym on my own for so many years. It was really nice to go in and talk to people and have those little conversations and stuff like that. I'm back at a normal gym now, but because my routine changed with the office and everything, but it was so nice, and I can definitely see it getting more and more popular.
This is the thing. People are getting quite bored with there is a lot of overconsumption in this industry, and people are getting quite bored with their training styles. That's why we're seeing like hybrid coaching and all this stuff come out, because people are bored of strength training. At the end of the day, it can be a little bit boring when you go in and do the same thing over and over and over, even though it's good and we love it. So making fitness fun in a way that you can have a close-knit community. And I think the message that we always try and get across is adults are lonely. As an adult, as a female adult, and a lot of the industry that consumes fitness is female, it's incredibly hard for adult females to make friends. It's incredibly hard if you've moved away from your hometown and you're in a new community. They're going to opt for something like that.
Yeah.
So definitely would be keeping an eye on that. And if you are a coach, there's still ways to work with that. You could do nutrition coaching whilst they're at a joint gym.
Yeah.
But that's the second prediction. The third one is definitely going to happen, I reckon. So we had running this year.
Yeah, running was massive
and
this year.
high rocks.
High rocks, yeah.
Training.
It came in like mid this year, I reckon. Well, that's when I started seeing it anyway.
It got really big because there were a couple of like Gold Coast influencers or fitness influencers doing it. But martial arts and boxing is going to be the new hybrid in 2025.
I reckon it's going to become
because you want to do it too. You went to the box the other day, the
Oh
gym.
my God. Okay. Weirdest experience ever.
Yeah.
Myself and Maddie, who's
I actually didn't ask you about this.
We didn't talk to anyone. That's why I didn't have anything to talk about, because I literally showed up and we were like standing at the front door and there was just like this one dude in the room and he was just like doing his wraps on his wrist and stuff. And I even was like, hello. And he just didn't say anything. And so I was like, does he even work here? Like, it was so weird. And then they had like a timetable on the window and it was different to the one that I saw online. And I was like, maybe I'll just call them. I was like, man, why is it so hard to walk up in person and nobody talks to me? I'm like, I already feel awkward.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I definitely think
I'm interested in
going to become the new hybrid style of coaching.
Yeah.
There's lots of people dabbling into it at the moment. I think it's a discipline thing. I've heard a lot of people get into it for the discipline of it.
Yeah, which I can kind of see why I'm interested in it, because doing bodybuilding previously, it was really good discipline, food, training, ticking all your boxes, everything like that. And coming away from wanting to ever do a bodybuilding show again, but sort of missing that discipline of like, what am I training for at the moment? And I think it also having a technical skill-based goal at the same time is to like learn something new, because I know what I'm doing in the gym. And then I did a little bit of hybrid training. I've kind of moved around a little bit. It's like because my job's not moving. Maybe this is why I need to keep changing what I'm doing in my personal life.
What do you mean your job's not moving?
Because I've changed jobs so many times in my life that now that my job's like, stable and I'm enjoying it, I'm like, well, I need to change something in my life.
I was like, your role's always changing.
But anyway, getting sidetracked a little bit. But
this is also a really good lesson too, though, because as you said, people get obsessed with having a goal at the end of a program. Like, I'm experiencing that at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling not having a goal. And I know that just having a goal is not progressing for me. Like, I need to learn to not have one.
Yeah.
But a lesson for coaches, make programs that have goals this year. I know there's a lot of, is this on the list?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
A little bonus one.
There's a lot of, I don't know the word. People look down on challenges and projects, and I totally get it if you're selling them as lose 20 kilos in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But sometimes for someone to get into the industry, you need to have an entry-level offer. And we're going to talk about low-ticket offers today. You need to have something that's entry-level that people can come into your business and be like, wow, this is amazing, and have them work towards something. So, for example, a Kickstarter in January to kickstart your fitness goals for 2025 with an 8-week goal that they can work towards, it's going to motivate them. And then your job is to educate them on how to make it sustainable in that program so you can take them on long term.
Exactly.
So don't look at challenges as a bad thing. Sometimes people need goals. And I feel because even with us being consumers for so long, we just forget that it's not normal for people to be into fitness and just go to the gym.
Yeah.
They need something to be at the end and to motivate them and to make them really excited. And for any gym owners that are listening, if you do feedback rounds with your customers, I've worked with so many gyms this year, they're looking for mini challenges. They're looking for goals to attach themselves to. So create goal-based programs,
Yeah.
time-based programs, we all know if we have 6 weeks to get something done, we are getting it done in that 6 weeks.
Yeah. It's almost like think of challenges or mini programs and things like that. Think of it as an interview to your one-to-one coaching. Like don't think of it as like a cop-out or anything in that regards, but it's a low-ticket way for people to get into your coaching to see what you're like to then go on and teach them more.
Yeah. And look, there's a lot of marketing, and I think there has been a lot of marketing in the industry over the last few years that have really attached a negative stigma to challenges, especially with the use of before and afters with results that we know aren't sustainable.
Yeah.
But if that is the way that your customer thinks, let them have something like that and use that to educate them into your business.
Yeah.
Use that to educate them and bring them on. I have so many customers right now who have finished a spring challenge and they've signed 5 of their clients to one-to-one because they loved the process. Yeah. So reframe your logic to that.
Your thoughts behind
little tip for
challenge.
You. Yeah. So the next one, I love this one. I love this one so much. Spending habits are more likely to change this year and there will be more purchases in the industry. Why? Because the RBA is getting reassessed in February.
Yeah.
And there might be a little bit of ease on people.
Thankfully for everyone involved. I was actually talking to my sister Tisha yesterday about the mortgage repayments and like how much more it is now from the interest rates, because I don't have a mortgage, so I'm not actually sure how much more intense repayments have become. And she said from when they started to now, their repayments are up $1,000 a month on their mortgage compared to when they started. And I was like, wow. That's insane.
It's so crazy, especially when you're breaking the budget to just get the house in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's wild. So with it being reassessed.
I do follow Mark Boris. Buris? I don't know how to say his last name. He has a podcast all about like RBA rates, and apparently they're reassessing to bring it down in February. But it definitely is coming down next year with all the trends and patterns that they're talking about. Yeah. People are going to want to buy. People already want to buy, but they can't. So, and I saw this TikTok yesterday. This is so off track. But it was talking about how no one's buying houses at the moment, but coffee shops are so busy, everyone's out eating breakfast. And someone commented and goes, this is the sign of a recession because everyone's spending money on little things because the big things are out of question.
Out of reach.
So
they're
why
like,
shouldn't we enjoy little luxuries?
Might as well give myself a little treat because I can't give myself the big goal.
Your coaching could be a little luxury for people.
Yeah.
But I reckon spending habits will change next year.
Yeah.
Because I've also noticed this year that a lot of people are buying product-based over service-based.
I was going to say more so of the product purchase rather than subscription.
Yeah. So even with our membership, we have clients that purchase it every month off the website, even though it's more expensive as a one-off, and they won't sign up to the subscription. Yeah. And we're always like, why?
Yeah.
Because it's like a commitment thing.
Yeah. And also I feel like people are almost sick of having so many subscription services that they're thinking, I just want to purchase it and have it, and then I'll repurchase it when I want it again instead of having to sign up to something.
Yeah.
And of course there's benefits to signing up to stuff, like how ours is cheaper if you subscribe instead of purchasing one off, but people just don't want to subscribe and have another running subscription.
I feel like it's also you don't know what's coming given the economy. You don't know what it's going to be like next month for you.
Yeah.
Even one of my clients has like a recipe hub. She has the best recipes and people buy her ebooks over her app. They just want to buy once-off purchases, and that is a lot of income. Like,
yeah.
And it's just, there's so much emphasis on product at the moment. So next year, I really recommend for everyone to have a bit of a play around with your prices and maybe do like a pay in full with a 10% discount, and then have your subscription that's like your safe MRR every single month, because you might notice a couple more people purchase. Plus the buy-in. We were talking about this the other day. Yeah. When people buy something in full, they're dedicated to give it 110% because that lump sum has come out of their account.
It's come out and they're like, okay, I've paid this amount of money, so I need to make sure that I get my money's worth because I've spent this much. Where if people have that little subscription that's coming out weekly or fortnightly, it's less noticeable.
It's a bit of a buy-in, and it's the same as having an upfront fee. It's a buy-in to be committed to your service.
Yeah.
Everything has its pros and cons. If you do that, your retention might drop off at 12 weeks because they've committed to a 12-week program. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, but have both offers there, and you might be surprised with what.
But then also just have things in place before they get to the end of 12 weeks to have a call with them, chat about their next goals, what are they going to work on now, and get them excited about making that purchase again.
All comes back to marketing. I got this question yesterday, and I just said, why don't you do journeys? Why don't you show what 36 weeks looks like with you and walk people through the phases? Everyone's doing them photo dumps kind of things at the moment. Like, you could definitely do a photo dump of your client every single month and what they've achieved across 12 months, or there's no limit on carousels. I don't know what the limit
20,
is.
I think.
I don't know. That's a long time.
I think it went from 10 to 20.
Do photo dumps and show each month and how it improves and what they get from every month, not just the before and afters, and put more longevity into your marketing.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Excellent
Bring
tips.
it back to
Write that
the
down
basics.
if you're listening. Okay, next one is, we think this is kind of in line with that, but we see that there might be a more demand for personalized coaching will go up, and lower ticket coaching. Did you write this?
Yeah.
What's attrition?
So it's a churn rate.
Oh,
It's the rate
never
that people,
read that word before in my life.
It's the rate that people leave your business.
Attrition and churn will rise. Yeah, so lower ticket coaching on the downfall and higher ticket coaching coming up. People want personalization.
Yeah, this
want
is
things
a really
for them.
controversial topic because we talk about entry-level offers and absolutely challenges at entry level because they're personalized.
Yeah.
When it comes to I could talk about this for hours. When it comes to lower ticket offers, I always recommend our customers to lean away from them these days unless they have the validation to have that offer within their business. And there's a couple reasons why. So number one is we just went through this massive phase of mass programs in COVID, basically.
Had to.
And everyone was on these mass training apps. If you think about it, a couple of them have shut down.
Yeah.
These mass apps, and everyone had access to programs and recipes and everything. But what was the core problem of these apps? They weren't personalized. And I like to use the case study of evidence-based training. Why is his app on the rise at the moment? Why is everyone so obsessed with it? It's because it's personalized. It's because it has a coach, it has a touch point, it's all personalized, and you actually get results compared to an app back in the day that was a mass program base that just had macros and calories, right?
Yeah, and everyone just follows the same program. You get the same exercises, the same workouts, like, yeah.
So instead of racing everyone to the bottom to have a low ticket program to say join for $20 a week, take advantage of the fact that people are leaving these apps to jump onto a personalized app. You just went through this.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you were on an app.
Yeah.
It was a mass program and you weren't enjoying the
Hated
training.
it. Hated the app. Like, not hated it. Like, it was good ideas.
It was the best
Like, it was good ideas.
Come from
and
a personalized background.
Yes,
yeah.
I do. And then I've literally just switched to a new platform that is, well, they had like a Black Friday sale offering. And I was like, oh, look, it's the same price as the app that I'm on now. So I'm going to give it a go because it's going to be personalized. It updates every 4 weeks for me, that sort of thing, still meal plans, all that sort of stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. And I'm in love with it. Like, I'm halfway through week 1. The program is so much better and it's more tailored. I got to put in how advanced of a trainer, like in the gym I was. And like, I was like, oh, yes, this is much better. And even if they weren't having a sale, like, it is that higher ticket compared to the mass produced ones.
Yeah.
And already I'm like, yep, I would probably pay the normal price for this over going to the cheaper option because of how much better I'm finding it being more personalized.
Yeah. And mass will always have a place in the
definitely.
industry because it's an entry level.
There will
people
always
getting
be
into
entry level
it.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But personalized, you just can't beat it.
No.
Personalization, the retention's longer. People love it because you build relationships. Again, people are very lonely. And if you're saying, I need a lower ticket offer to bring on more clients to make more money, you're just going to cause more stress for yourself, especially if you are a coach that has a handful of clients, 30, 40 clients, right? and you're offering a lower ticket option, yes, people are going to drop from your coaching. It's inevitable. People want the cheapest thing. But 2, are they really going to have the best experience if they're not getting the results? Why not put a monthly check-in or a fortnightly check-in and make it that little bit more personalized? I can just see a huge trend of lower ticket offers just not working. The stress is going to be really high. Instead, personalized 8-week, 12-week kind of time-based programs will come back and have their place within
and be able to make it a little bit higher price, because going back to our last point is people having that little bit more to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even people will pay for personalization.
Definitely.
There's people out there that pay me that pay like $60 for a gym membership and then coaching on top.
Yeah.
It's what they value and what the perceived value is with your business.
Yeah.
And it really just boils down to your marketing.
Yeah, like you have to give them the why. You have to give them the reason of why yours is better than the cheaper mass option, and why your results can be better from following a personalized program.
Yeah. And we will be talking about kickstarting your business is it the next episode? I don't know. Yes, maybe. I don't know. I don't know when the episode's going to drop. We have a Kickstart series coming on the podcast where we will be talking about all of this. So make sure to tune in or just follow and like us.
Yeah, and you'll see when it comes out.
So I see that. The next one is so incredibly controversial.
Yeah.
AI has a place in the industry. It is going to play a huge part in this industry. And it's, again, I could talk about this forever. I love AI. I think AI is one of the best things that's ever happened.
I'm still low-key scared of it.
Yeah, it's scary.
I think you should be scared of it in a little bit of a way.
However, there's a lot of chatter of AI is never going to replace a human. That's not its job.
No.
Like your job as a coach is never going to be replaced, but it's going to be challenged in a different way. For example, lower ticket programming. People can go onto ChatGPT and get a program.
Yeah.
It's going to be challenged. AI is going to change the industry in a way that it's going to make your business easier to run. Absolutely. There are programs out there. There are AI builders in all the apps. You're seeing them. And if you are constantly living in fear of this taking over your business, you're not going to be utilizing it. And for example, we're going to get into it to make our life easier so we can show up better for our customers.
Exactly. Like so you can do the same.
It is going to start dominating this industry, and you've got to not be scared of it. You actually need to dive into it and take it for the ride.
And let it help you. Don't let it be your programming
don't
or
get
your
lazy
coaching.
With it.
Yeah,
don't
be lazy.
I want an AI coach.
Yeah, like no, absolutely not, because you're still going to need to do that tailoring aspect, but it can help you get the groundwork ready for you to do your tailoring.
And the things that you can do with AI is incredible. So like, for example, like the way that I see it is Keira comes to me as a coach and goes, I really love this. And you go, loves split squats, like put in all the exercises, and it just goes bang.
I can tell you how it works.
You could fix it.
HubFit has it in it.
Does it?
Yeah.
HubFit's got it already.
HubFit has it in it. You literally put into HubFit, write me a glute and hamstring focused workout. They have barbells, dumbbells, and using like generic gym machines or whatever that you want it to use, like whatever machines. It asks you for injuries, and it asks you like what their expertise is, like beginner, intermediate, advanced, and you say like, utilize like 5 exercises, blah, blah, blah. And it will spit you out a program that's like 3 sets of hip thrusts, and then it's like 3 sets of dumbbell RDLs, and then there's like a machine one and blah, blah, blah. And then you tailor it from there.
How much easier does that make your job? And I know that by saying that, someone would say, well, it's a machine that's done that. Yeah, it is a machine that's done that. Use it to your advantage.
Yeah, that's literally just instead of you dragging and dropping each exercise and then putting it in, and instead it just being like, boop, here it is, and then you going, great, I'm going to add tempo, I'm going to add how much rest, I'm going to superset these. Like,
learn how to use it. And there's so much fear mongering around like automation and AI. Yes, there is a time where it is too much automation.
Yeah.
But use it to your advantage. If you're not using it to your advantage, you're going to fall behind.
And
I'm really sorry.
Great point to add in here. I have my systems calls with coaches in the Business Moves program.
Yeah.
Not calling anybody out because it's pretty common that when I say what takes you the most time with onboarding, programming, every single time, almost every single time. Not everybody, but
this year, guys, you're going to see, I can already see it coming. There's going to be meal plan AI builders. There's going to be recipe AI builders. There's going to be so much coming out that makes your life easier. And the one thing that you need to double down on is personalized coaching and relationship building. Yeah. If you focus on that, you're going to be fine.
And you know what? If it takes you quicker to do your programming, you have more time to focus on your socials. You have more time to focus on the community. You have more time because it's helped you do it quicker.
Increase your capacity. It's just like a system. Yeah. But it's funny. I love ChatGPT. I love it. There is a time and place for it, but I am that person that word vomits an email and I'll put it in and be like, fix it.
Yeah, please.
And then it fixes it for me and it's so good. And I don't see an issue with that.
It's just reminding me of that reel that was going around and it was like us with our AI robot at our Christmas party celebrating getting through the year. And it's like them dancing with him at the Christmas party.
We use AI so much. We use it for the photos and the recipes. We use it to draft up like formal emails, formal contracts and things like that to tweak things.
And we tweak it from there.
We have been prompting it to learn lessons and there is so much when you're in it. Sometimes you just can't think of things. Yeah. And even sometimes I will type in, give me ideas for this, and then I'll utilize that and create my own thing. I just need someone to do that critical thinking for me.
And then also, okay, quick tip, because you know how we always complain that we can tell if you've used ChatGPT because the Z's instead of S's and blah, blah, blah. You can ask it to write it in Australian spelling.
I just say use English grammar.
Yeah. If you use Australian, it also works. It doesn't be like, oi, mate.
You can't just copy and paste it. Oh, I did that once. I put in an email and I wrote up an email for a company and they're, I think it was the SDC boys, super like laid back. Yeah. And I typed in, I was like, make it more bro. And it was like, oi, mate. I was like, not that, bro, not that.
That's bonza.
So it really does work. And I feel there's a lot of fear mongering around automation and AI. It is inevitable that it's happening. You either jump on and ride the ship or you get left behind. Yeah. So you might as well utilize it as well as you can. All the training apps are jumping onto it. And I need to check out this HubFit. For sure. The next one is very apparent for Keira with her research, but wearables are just going through the roof at the moment.
They are. They absolutely. I'm currently trialing out my Whoop band.
How are you trialing a Whoop?
So Whoop is a subscription, which also annoys me. That was like kind of putting me off. But essentially they send you out the band for free. Yeah. To trial it, and then from there you essentially pay monthly subscription to have access to the app and for your band to be live.
I love it. It is such a smart business model.
Such a clever business model.
I've watched the Diary of a CEO episode with the owner and
genius. But yeah, essentially like it'll always update with the updates and everything, like whatever comes out, it'll update for you. Yeah. Right. So it's an app and it just tracks everything. And a part of me why I thought about getting into martial arts and stuff was because I got this Whoop band and I was like, look, it's pretty detailed. Like I'm not an athlete. And I was like, I should be an athlete so I can convince myself to use this Whoop band.
I feel like the reason why Whoops are getting and wearables like Garmin's, Apple Watches, things like that, is people are taking more notice in different types of health metrics. Yes. They're taking a lot more notice in their recovery and their sleep. And I feel like health is shifting from if it fits your macros to a more this is how I feel and this is why I feel how I feel.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. People are much more conscious about how they feel, how their sleep is, what their recovery is like, not putting themselves through the ringer, training 7 days a week, all that stuff. Like they've got the data there to be like, oh, why do I feel like crap this day? Yeah. Oh, maybe it's because you've been sleeping for 3 hours, like, and giving that data. But I will say the reason why it's also going through the roof, when I put out a story asking for feedback on wearables, the amount of feedback and intricate detail. I love when people are passionate about anything, like, because I'm so passionate about literally any topic that when people come to me and they're as passionate as I am about anything, I was obsessed. I had people sending me screen recordings of inside their Aura Ring app. I had people being like, yep, it does this. Like, oh, it doesn't do this and this is crap. Yeah. And Oh my God, it was unbelievable. So
I can't get around the Aura Ring because you can't train with it.
you can get like a silicone cover for it, but just
Still pinches you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's becoming a boy thing to compare your Strava apps. James is always comparing his Strava apps to his
Do you know
friends.
it's also kind of low-key in dating because you can give kudos?
Yeah, but also I should have sent it to you. You would have loved it. There's this guy in New York and he runs.
The dancing man?
The dancing man. I saw it. I was like, Keira would love this.
I did love it. I was watching. I was like, wow, the dedication
I was
to
like,
this.
how did he navigate that? Like,
I don't know. He must have mapped it out. Anyway, for more detail, it's this man, and like, so when you run on Strava, it'll like track pretty much any fitness app. It'll track like where you went.
We might link it in the
Yeah, maybe it'll track where you went. And he literally created an entire, like, you know, a flip book, how it like changes. It's like tick, 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 tick. He created that with his Strava runs, and it's this man dancing with like a hat and it was insane. Like I was watching it like, mesmerized.
Jay, we have quite a big yard, and he had Strava on when he was mowing. He's like, I just did 3.5 kilometers.
Stop it! No. And the red line's just like.
It was like wrap around.
So it's so good to do a bit of a spiral.
So I feel wearables are going to become quite big, and they're still going to be a big topic. I would love to dive into that Whoop. It's just such a smart.
So clever.
So clever. Subscription models are honestly where it's at.
Yeah. Even though we just spoke about how people don't want to.
Even though you would
can
be like,
pay
I
in
want a
full.
product purchase, yeah.
And even I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just do the pay in full.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't want to have the monthly subscription. So it's getting me. Oh, just hit the mic. Sorry. I'm getting too passionate.
So I reckon that is going to be a really big trend.
Yeah.
And I feel that wearables are going to come into training apps. I know that they're syncing. I know that there's a lot of syncing, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of recovery metrics and metrics within the training app that AI will be in there.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, well, maybe you need to recover today instead of training today. And apps are going to get smarter like that.
You know what would be cool if it automatically like shifts your training session around and stuff like that. That would be cool.
We need to start a training app.
Right? Or I'll just be an advisor for somebody's training app if they want to bring me on.
He was like, I'm promoting myself. It's actually so funny. Lately, we won't give too much away, but we have been in contact with a lot of training apps lately. And probably 6 months ago, they probably were like, no, not responding. And Kira's like, I feel so important because everyone has responded to us.
I've got emails for every training app.
Every training app wants our feedback around the things that we see. And Kira's got like a couple of meetings booked this year to actually give insight to training apps. And it's like, the other day,
I'm like, how did I get here?
Happening?
I was like, I feel like such a big dog. I'm like, yeah.
I don't even know how you got into systems.
I don't know.
I never allocated it to you. I think you just took the reins one day.
I don't know. Crazy.
There it is. But yeah, there you go.
Here we are. I think I was just like, yeah, I want to know about this app. And then I'm like, oh, that app's better. I don't like that. I hate this. And I think it's because like as an avid user of training apps, I get annoyed of them. I literally have a folder on my phone now.
I was just about to say, we need to make a post on social media about Keira and her passion for systems with her folder of never-ending training.
Honestly, I keep wondering why my phone keeps getting so slow, and I literally have like 7 apps on my phone that I don't even use, and I use occasionally just to look at the app and like help when I set up the coaches app and everything. And I've got all these training apps on my phone, and now I forgot a dedicated folder because I was sick of looking for them in like my work folder that I had, and they were all everywhere. I was like, I need them all in one spot.
So many. I think we're across 7 at the moment.
Yeah.
Number 8's a good one.
Number 8, a bit more of a reality check with tough love content.
Yeah. I feel I watched a Sherelle Grant podcast about this. I think you might have listened to the same one.
Possibly.
And it was about there's a lot of talk at the moment. We've kind of shifted toward like it's okay, like that kind of mentality. Whereas it's like we need to start holding ourselves to a higher standard. Yeah. And then if we don't reach that standard, like, you know, some days it's okay. But I feel like there's been a massive shift in, oh, it's all right, don't worry, it's all good. And now there's going to be a shift back towards, well, you need to do it.
Yeah, because I almost feel like it is shifting that way because it went from being everybody was in a tough spot mentally, struggling a little bit post-COVID. Everyone was being a bit kinder to themselves. Mental health became so much more aware. And then now it's shifting to a part of like you can't live like that and expect different results.
Yeah.
So,
it's like we got complacent with that feeling.
Yep.
And it definitely is. I feel that online people are very scared to give tough love out because there's so many people online that just tear it down.
Yeah. But
where's the standard?
Yeah. But at the same time, the expectation has to be there for your clients that they can't diddle daddle around and expect the results they want, where we've spoken about this recently, where it's like we have the body we have at the moment for the lifestyle we currently want to live.
This is a full episode of It's like coming to terms with what body you're happy at. Different episode. Yeah,
different episode.
But this also is really transferable to business because I have this conversation a lot because in business, online, there's a lot of top dollar of I signed 10 clients overnight or I made $10,000 overnight. And there's, okay, that's fine, but what are the actual metrics after everything? And this is a lot of marketing at the moment is this because that's the marketing that coaches are looking for to grow their business, right? And we do dabble in that marketing, but we've never been solely that marketing. Our marketing's also what's the feeling that you got from it? Like what's kind of thing. But what sells to coaches is the figures that you can make. And there's this thing, and I constantly have conversations. It's like, well, if you don't do the work, you cannot get the results that you want. Like, just because you're seeing it online, you don't know what's happening. Like, you literally cannot get clients if you do not post on social media. Yeah. There's no way around it.
Yeah. So completely transferable.
It's shifting, completely.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are becoming better with hearing it.
Yeah.
These days too.
Yeah.
And it's like because I think a lot of people are coming to the realization of, well, that's not the full truth. That's not For example, like we could have a coach that could sign 10 clients in a day, but they've probably spent 2 years building up to that launch in that day.
Yeah. It's like how people go, oh man, they just blew up overnight. No, they didn't.
It's kind of like I kind of had this experience when I did my photo shoot earlier this year. I woke up one morning and I was like, oh my God, I'm so like tired. And like,
but it didn't happen
8
overnight.
Weeks, I was like, nothing's happening.
I kept saying, I was like, it's coming. It's coming.
And then it happened overnight.
And then it happens overnight.
The 8 weeks of work. Yeah.
And you're like, wow, overnight. And you're like, no, not overnight. It's that compounding effect of the work you've been doing. And then you see results. Exactly the same with your fitness business. It's the compounding effect to finally then see it. But you've got to do that grunt work and the grind before you actually see the result.
Absolutely. And this is, we actually have a really good example of this. We had someone come through the Business Moves program, Sally. She's one of my one-to-ones. Oh, she's doing so well. And she came to us in the Business Moves program, did the program. She got a lot more confidence within the program, but then she continued with me after the program. So during the program, she did sign a few clients because it did help. But because we did the program and then we did like 3 months of grunt work, she is now maxing her capacity more than she ever has because she took that step. She did what she needed to do. She didn't expect an outcome at the end of the BM and then she took that next leap. And it's like you've got to like be consistent with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last one is I really don't know.
I think we kind of already –
No, we've talked about the training app, but fitness clothing. We were having a discussion around this with – at the moment in the industry, you've either got like define, what's that? Keep that pump. You've got define, keep that pump, that kind of style. And then you've got CSB.
Yeah.
What's in the middle?
Yeah.
What's happening for everyone? Everyone's got them, like them shorts. I love them shorts, by the way. They're the best shorts ever.
I hate them.
I love them.
I hate the band.
Have you had the Define shorts before?
Hate them.
I love them.
I hate the band. I hate that like
but
rib type band that digs in.
Legs.
Yeah, I have muscly legs.
No, Define doesn't have them.
No, the big long band.
Oh, the one around your waist.
And it's like, the big thick band. Hate it.
Really?
Hate it. I'm quite squishy of a person. And and like it digs in and then it like gives me I think I've got a really short torso.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't work. And like every clothing company is coming out with these same freaking shorts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want them. I hate them. So anyway, everyone loves them. And I'm like, nah.
I reckon there's going to be a big shift with clothing back into 2000 style. It's already happening.
Oh my God. Can we please talk about the capri leggings? Because I hate them and they're making a comeback and they're gross. But maybe it's because I'm short.
I don't know what they are.
Capri are like they're like below the knee, not quite 7/8, and they're like this mid calf.
So they'd be full length on me.
Yeah, probably like 7/8 for me, a good length because they're full length. But this is for like the general humans who are over 5'3".
I honestly reckon that the New Balances are going to go out of trend this year.
You reckon?
They are so uncomfortable.
Really?
I have a pair.
I don't have any.
I cannot walk in them because you can't do legs in them.
I see people doing legs in them all the time. But I think they're too squishy. Like I take my shoes off. I was almost about to say I take my feet off.
I can only wear dunks.
Really?
They're the
I
only
take my shoes off
wear.
for leg days.
I feel really weird when I do that.
Do you know what's weird? Okay, this going off about like taking your shoes off and everything. I used to be like, oh my God, just keep your shoes on. Like, what's your problem? And then the more that like I do it, I'm like, I'm going to take my shoes off for this. Oh, I'm going to take my shoes off for this actually. And I'm like taking them off and off more. And I'm like, eventually I'm going to get to doing upper and be like not wearing shoes. I'll be like, oh, because I need to be more stable.
You know why?
It's so weird.
It's like if I'm going to go do a leg day, I want to go for a walk and I don't want to walk in dunks. I'm going to need to wear joggers. But I don't want to train in joggers.
I'm not packing bloody 2 pairs of shoes. But,
so I reckon they're going to go out of fashion because they're so uncomfortable.
Well, they'll be in fashion, but out of gyms maybe.
Yeah. And I don't know. Fashion's a bit of a weird one. So if anyone's got any.
I'm not a fashion-y person.
I just give you all of my leftovers.
Yeah, it helps because I'm trying to spend less money. But
you're like, Black Friday.
Oh,
Black
man.
Friday.
Do you know how many carts I have full of items? And then I'm just like, okay, exit.
No. Everyone's just grateful that I made the Christmas party after Black Friday.
Oh, it was really helpful. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've done our predictions and now I want to talk about what we want to see more of.
Yes.
In the industry this year. Number one, and this is a broken record for us, stop tearing each other down to build your business. If you need to talk badly about someone, tear someone else down, or just blatantly shit talk to grow your business, what are you doing?
Who are you inviting into your page other than negative Nancy's? Negative Nellies?
There is literally no reason to tear someone else down for the methods that they use.
Yeah.
And I always have this conversation with people, and I like when I have calls with people and their first response is a negative response, I'm like, okay, let's reframe that. Like, let's reframe why people do things the way that they do.
Yeah.
And I'm so,
because majority of the time, like the things that people are doing might be that's what their audience wants to see. Yeah. That's what they like. That's what they're doing. Like that's who they're bringing in. You don't have to talk about that. You don't have to start with putting someone down and then talking about why you don't do it. Just talk about why you do what you do.
Yeah.
And that will bring your people in. And that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear you talking about other people.
One of the things I hear a lot, and this is a problem, is, well, I actually do this because I actually care and I'm actually different like that because I do it like this and other people don't. And
you don't know those other people.
And it's like, first of all, why are you focusing on them? That's your first problem. Focus on yourself and what you're doing. Second of all, who cares? That's what's creating a negative stigma within the industry, and that's why people are scared to sign up to coaching because there's so much fear-mongering amongst all the peers in the industry.
Yeah.
Just take a step back from it, focus on your own thing, and the amount of people that we are like, okay, so we're going to start, even if it's not negative, we're like, we're going to start focusing on ourselves. We did this year, and we noticed the biggest change in the world. Just, I can't. It actually bothers me so much.
Yeah, like, I wanted to think about how you would feel seeing somebody else post a super negative start, tearing somebody else down. Would you be scared to contact that person thinking that if you did something wrong, they're going to be really mean or rude or negative or, yeah.
I find it such a breath of fresh air. So we have a couple of clients that work across the industry and other businesses like ours, and it's really common that you can't please everyone. You know, you can work with businesses in an industry, you can't please them, and it's just the way that it is. Some people have good times, some people have really bad times. And I really love when we get customers and they say, oh, I worked with a certain company. A lot of the times they won't say the company's name. They'll just be like, it just wasn't the best experience. I just want to get it fixed. That music to my ears. Because I'm not going to pride and prod you over who it was, what they did. I don't care.
I don't care who
Let's talk about how we can fix it for you. And then, you know, some people might mention the company name and they'll say, look, I don't want to talk bad. It's like, it's all like water under the bridge for us, because we know as well at the end of the day you can do everything and they might not just be the right fit for you.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're feeding into that, you're bringing that into your business.
Yeah.
I love it when people are just like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm just going to come to you guys because I think you guys can help. I love
absolutely.
that.
Which is the same as like sometimes like your clients, they're not always going to be the right fit for you and they might move to somebody else, or they've come from somebody else. Don't worry about who they've come from. Like, I would hate it if I went to a coach and they're like, who was it? Who did you not have a good experience with? Blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to talk badly. Like, I don't want it to come back to me and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think, just stop shitting on each other, honestly.
It's really bad. I think in any industry it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you do not need to tear people down to build your business.
Yeah. Let's stop this tall poppy syndrome
business. Number 2, I want to see more community events. I feel
AKA
very
even
lonely
us.
in this industry.
Yeah.
Pardon?
AKA us.
Yeah. We're going to have an event. You guys all need to come.
Yeah. Like we've already spoken. People are lonely. Women are lonely in their fitness industry. They've lost friends from starting a fitness journey.
And that's the thing. When a lot of people start their journeys, especially in Gen Pop, look, the stuff that we talk about might not be transferable to competition coaches because competitors are competitors. They're in it for a reason.
But it is also kind of on that line because more competitors are looking at it. Used to be like who's on stage is your competition.
Yeah.
No, you're your competition. Those people actually have such a similar mindset to you and you would actually get along with them really well and have prep buddies that are doing the same thing, that aren't inviting you for nights out, aren't inviting you to go to dinner, all of that sort of stuff. So it's getting bigger in the competing side to actually stand by each other. So community is growing even in the competition world. So yeah, more community events.
I would love to see more of them, and Christmas parties. Celebrate little milestones with your customers. I love when I hear coaches are going to have Christmas parties.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yes, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's
My
so
previous
good.
coach held Christmas parties. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So excited for our Christmas party.
Yeah. When we're
Christmas
recording
parties
this,
next
Christmas
week.
parties in like a week and a half. We're so excited.
But yeah, more community events, taking more time to build a connection with your customers.
Yeah.
I really want to see it because it's so much more powerful than a relationship building, because online coaching is lonely. You don't
Or
need
the
to coach.
community forums online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next
Number 3,
one.
more organic content. I really want to see more of this. Keira's got a thing about this.
No.
I love seeing organic content.
Yes. Okay. Organic content, I agree with.
I've actually wanted to start posting my days in a life on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because
Why not?
I just live the most boring life.
Yeah. It wouldn't be much, but
I really, 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 really enjoy seeing people live a normal life. I find that so much more interesting than lives that are out of touch for me.
and that are put together, highly edited, like looks really good,
think
nice
that
spots. Like
it was a thing, and that's how you like. It is a thing. People love it, but I love seeing the normal stuff.
yeah, and showing bad days in the way of just talking about your day, how it went, like being more relatable for people. And I know what you're laughing before.
I find it crazy because when we show that, people eat it up. They're like,
yeah,
oh my God.
they love it.
When we posted that podcast app of the shutdown, everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
You would never know.
I know.
And I was like, cool, maybe we need to show more.
And I've been talking a lot, like people love to find other people relatable. They're looking for community and feel good. And I listen to a podcast. I talk about these boys all the time, but I love these boys. They're called the Relatables podcast, and they're so funny. They're like young. I think they're 24, 25. Not young, but yeah. And it's just so funny because people love being relatable and related to. And I had that feeling. I had that thought. And people love to connect that way.
Even comes down to like, this is so silly, but I always see people wearing really beautiful gym sets. I'm like, I look like a feral when I go to the gym half the time. I literally wear 3-year-old shorts. Yeah. Sports bra.
I actually, no joke, I wore a pair of shorts today. I was like, I do not know how long I've had these shorts for.
Like stuff like that's the stuff I love seeing. I love seeing the mundane morning routines, I love that stuff because it makes me feel normal.
Do you know, unpopular opinion, I don't know your thoughts on this, but just because we're talking about activewear, I can't wear a matching set.
Really?
I feel silly.
Really?
I feel like a full kit wanker.
I love it. I don't have – you feel like what?
A full kit wanker.
What's that?
It's like if – so somebody who – like a boy who watches footy and they're wearing like the shirt, the pants, the socks and you look like you're wearing a full kit. Like I put on a matching set and I feel like I look ridiculous. And I
love a matching set.
But I see other people, I'm like, that looks good. I put it on. Idiot.
I love it.
I don't know what it is.
I don't have any matching sets though because I either, for example, I really love the Define shorts, but I don't necessarily like their bras.
Okay.
So I never have matching sets.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like that's a common thing in the bodybuilding industry because everyone's in between sizes in peak season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, it's just a thought that I had.
But I want to see more organic content. Show me what you're doing on your mundane days.
Yeah.
Show me your breakfast that don't look perfect.
Yes.
Love that
I want to
stuff.
see your food that if I make it, it's also going to look like that.
Show me your dirty house.
I feel like, hey, do you feel like when people post a photo of the recipe and then they post the recipe amounts, they've added extra on theirs because there's no way I'm making 10 grams of peanut butter go that far.
I always think about this and I'm like, how do you make it look so good? Because when I make it, it looks floppy.
I have like this much peanut butter and they've made it go across a whole bowl of porridge. I'm like, how?
Yeah, it's like.
I think you've added extra. Calling you out. Because I mean, there's absolutely no way. So show me what your actual oats look like before you add on the grams.
Leads us into the next one.
This leads me circling back to how passionate I get about literally anything.
The next one is I'm starting to really love recipes. This is coming from a place of I don't track anymore. I just love seeing recipes online that are more quality food than macros.
Yeah. And also just like show me the ingredients, tell me what you've used and I'll make mine.
Yeah.
And to be the amounts that I need. I don't actually care about how many calories yours was because I might have to change it.
Yeah.
And the macros on it and stuff.
That's just a preference for us because
but this is what we want to see more of.
So, yeah. I feel like because I'm not tracking.
Please tailor your content to us. Thank you.
I'm not tracking. I'm like, why is that there?
We're just trying to curate our own feed, really. But yeah, that would be cool.
Number 5 is a good one. More collaboration across coaching businesses.
Yes.
I feel like coaching is a very independent industry and it's independent because there's a scarcity mindset of they're going to take my clients.
Yep.
But I love seeing collaboration between businesses.
Yeah.
Because it's, as we've spoken about in the episode where you're sick,
yes,
people can step in for you and you can expand your business so much more as well.
Yeah. And I think it also comes back to the, where we're talking about like don't bring other people down to make yourself better is seeing other people work together, like coaches work together, doing training together, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, look at them living side by side in the same field and getting along.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like people who've been bickering and then now they're friends. But I just think it's like nice to see other coaches being friends with each other and
I love it.
Collaborating.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I like it.
I'm constantly talking to business owners and I talk to a lot of like business coaches. The other day, for example, I sent a voice memo to Meg Tovey because I was like, I don't know what to do here. I was like, I really need a second opinion because I feel like my opinion, the incident that not an incident, but I just didn't know whether I should have said something. And she gave me her perspective and I was like, oh, that is such a good perspective to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, so, collaborating with people can give you different perspectives as to the different methods that they use. Yeah. Like, for example, this is just coming from like a coach-client relationship, but Rach has taught me so much about meal plans because I had this negative, well, I don't like meal plans because they're rigid, but she taught me how to actually look at them in a different light, like how they can take the stress off tracking. And you've had the same thing.
Yeah.
And that was just by talking to her about it. So if coaches put their heads together, there's so much that you could come up with and learn about so many different forms of clients, which could bring more clients into your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And also being like, hey, you're actually quite like a different coach and I want this person to actually have a really good experience. And I think you would be a better fit for them and stuff like that. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that.
That stuff will boost your business so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That referral process of I don't think you're the right fit for me. Well, I've done that so many times where people come to us and I'm like, no, I don't think this is what you need right now. Go to this other coach and they have the best experience with that coach and they talk highly of us because we didn't take them on and not give them the outcome that they needed.
Yeah. So, that's what we want to see more of.
Absolutely. And number 6, a boost in performance. Kira's like, what one? No, it was more
this wasn't right. I don't know what
a
this is.
strong focus on performance-based training. So talking about like PBs and performance and strength and overall what you get from training rather than aesthetics.
Yeah, because we were talking about how there being I did actually. This was mine. I was like, this wasn't mine. It actually was mine. Maybe you wrote it down and I was like, I don't know what this means. But more so how I was coming back to like wanting to try out Muay Thai and like the boxing gyms getting like more popular is people being able to focus on a performance-based outcome rather than a physical-based outcome.
Yeah.
So, I love those goals and targets being seen more and being used more in the fitness industry.
Yeah, I agree. I can be so good.
Yeah, I love it. People wanting to just be generally better.
Yeah, be better.
Just be better.
Well, that's everything for today.
I know.
First episode back, we're right into the groove of it.
Let us know what you think your predictions are going to be for 2025. If you've agreed, disagreed with any of the ones that we've gone through, what you want to see more of, if you're going to do any more of the things that we've spoken about, leave a comment, message us. Let us know.
Give us a follow.
Follow, like, subscribe, all of those feel-good things.
And we will see you for a couple of exciting episodes coming up.
Yeah, very exciting.
Super exciting.
Thank you for joining us for our first episode back.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.